it, man. Ah, Let's go. All right, brothers. What's going on, man? What's going on? It's your dude, IP, International Passport. We out here with DM. If you can hear me in the chat, let me know loud and clear. Mayday, Mayday, check 1 2, check 1 2. Who's here, bruv? Who's here? Who's here? Can y'all hear me? We good? What's going on, bruv? What's going on? Can you hear me, DM? Is my audio good, brother?
I can hear you. Your audio's perfect.
Awesome. All right, brothers. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. How's my audio? Type of 1 in the chat. Who's here? Who is here? We got Aaron of Ishval. We got DJ. We got Garben. Aaron of Ishval. Appreciate you, brother. Always here. Shout out to Aaron. That's a good brother right there. Garben's in the building. DJ. Awesome. So, let's get straight into it, right? First and foremost, we will be crashing out on Kick after. So make sure you create your Kick accounts and you follow me on Kick. Because we're taking it there to crash out yesterday on Twitch. The Twitch crash out yesterday was amazing. Super amazing. But today we'll be doing it on Kick. And tomorrow we'll be crashing out on Rumble. Okay, so if you're not on Kick, get on Kick and create your accounts there. We're going to crash out there after the stream. So let's get straight into it, okay? I've got a very special guest here called DM, who is here to break down his experience in Singapore. But before we get that experience from him, Mr. DM, how you doing, bro? You good?
I'm doing good. Happy Saturday. Man, there. Can't complain.
Happy Saturday, brother. So, DM, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, anything special about you, bro.
All right. So, I'm DM. I'm originally from New York City. I now live in Niagara Falls, New York. I work as a high school Spanish teacher at a high school, and I'm in my second year working in that high school. And I love to take advantage of my vacations and travel in my spare time.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. And by the way, your vacation took you to a place called Singapore.
Yep.
Interesting, brother. Can I ask why you went to Singapore in the first place, brother?
So the reason why I went to Singapore is because I was coming back from the Philippines, and I was initially supposed to go to Malaysia, but I decided, you know what? I had such a good time in Singapore the last time I went. Let me book a plane ticket to Singapore again, even if it's just for a day. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm very glad that although it was a last minute decision to go to Singapore from the Philippines, that I took that decision.
Okay. But now in Singapore, right, where you at? Were you in the central Singapore, or were you in a different place in Singapore, brother?
So I stayed at a hotel in Bugis Junction, which is in the center of Singapore, downtown.
Awesome. Oh, so you're in the heart, you're actually in the heart of the city.
The heart of the city, you got it.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of time. Take the church, IP. Ain't no love in the heart of the city.
Preach, IP.
Ain't no love in the heart of time. If you know, you know. So, brothers, brother, now in this stream, right, we want to get you to break down Singaporean women, brother, because for me, they're a mystery to me, because I see Chinese Singaporeans, I see Malay Singaporeans, I see Indian Singaporeans. I want to know, okay, who is loving brothers? I want to know what you saw out there. So I said the first question for you, brother, is now, brother, are Singaporean women checking for black men, brother?
Yes, they are. Maybe not to the same level as Thai women or Filipino women, but if you're clean cut, you're confident, and you code approach, yes.
Okay, brother. Okay, so what have you seen there? What have you experienced there for you to say that Singaporean chicks are checking for brothers? Break it down for me, cuz.
So the first time that I went to Singapore, which was July 2023. I had a Malay girlfriend that I had been dating for like around 2 years, and we hung out in Singapore. She showed me around. And then this time around, I went to Singapore by myself, but I went to the mini mall in Bugis Junction, and I was buying a t-shirt. I met a young Malaysian Chinese girl, and the store owner was trying to hook me up because she was like, she likes you. She's very shy. So I took a selfie with them. I got the number, and I sent her a message not too long ago for Chinese New Year, and she answered back.
Okay, awesome. So, brother, now I know that in Singapore, right, it's divided into different groups of women, right?
Yes.
So, Chinese, Indian, Malay, whatever. Who loves brothers the most out of all those three? Are they all checking for brothers, or is it a particular group of women there?
So they all check for brothers, but I feel like the women that check for brothers the most in Singapore are the Filipinas, followed by the Malays.
Okay.
And then with the Chinese population, it's 50-50.
I'm not surprised, bro, because like for me, if I want a Filipino chick, right, I'm going to the Philippines. I'm not looking for a Filipino in Singapore, brother, right? Personally,
Right.
I want either a Chinese Singaporean or I want a Malay Singaporean. I don't date Indian chicks. So now, brother, I want to mention, right, like, so Filipinos and Singapore love brothers. What does that mean?
Do.
So you're telling me that in your experience, they're checking for you and you saw them with brothers in Singapore?
Yes. So the thing is, there are 2 malls in the Filipino neighborhood of Singapore that I recommend checking out for day game and code approaching. Lucky Plaza, as well as the Ion Orchard, full of single Filipinas, because a lot of Filipino women like to go to Singapore as OVW workers. And I was just minding my own business. I was on my computer, and I had a Filipina saying hi to me and smiling when she was with her friends. And she looked fine. Tall, curvy body. Only reason why I didn't go after her is because she was a little bit too old for me. She was like middle-aged. But the thing about it is that I was only in Singapore for a day, but had I been there for longer, I would have definitely bagged more Filipinas.
Okay, awesome, brother, right? Now, we know for a fact that Filipinas love the brothers, right? There's a special connection between black men and Filipino women, right?
You got it.
I don't even think God can explain that connection. I'm just joking. I'm sure He can, right? He created everyone. So, brothers, for you, right? Now, for me, I want a Chinese Singaporean chick. Now, I'll be honest with you, right there, DM, hold your horse step, brother, right? Between black men and Chinese chicks, there ain't too much love there. I don't feel like Chinese women like black men in any shape or form, right? When they come to the West, looking for a white dude, when you go to their country, right, they ain't gonna show you too much love as a black man. I'll keep it a buck, right? Now, is that a different dynamic there in Singapore? Tell me the relationship between black men and Chinese Singaporean women, brother, in Singapore.
So the thing about Singapore in general is that they are trying, even though it is 3 main groups, the Malays, the Indians, and the Chinese, they are very, I'm not going to say that they're influenced by American culture, but they take after the United States and Britain when it comes to having a melting pot culture. So even though yes, Chinese Singaporeans will follow Chinese culture, they're Singaporean first. And because of the fact that there are so many ladies in Singapore that are single in general, Chinese included, when you have a black brother that is code approaching them and spitting game to them, that's like a breath of fresh air, and that confidence will be rewarded.
So, brother, you saw black men with Singaporean women, brother, in Singapore.
Yes, I did.
No, so
Especially when I went in July of 2023. They
Brother.
were college, university aged.
brother, you saw Chinese chicks, brother, with black men.
I saw like two couples in which they were university age. The guy was black and the woman was Chinese Singaporean. Yes, I did.
Was he light skinned or dark skinned, brother?
He was dark skinned. They were both dark skinned. Like chocolate complexion.
Brother, I'm thinking more like acorn complexion, that kind of complexion.
A little bit lighter than Akon. Like, let me give you an example. Michael Jordan complexion.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Noted. So, but so now this time around, when you went to Singapore, right?
Yeah.
How were the Chinese Singaporean chicks treating you? Were you getting looks from them? Were they checking for you? Break it down for me, cuz.
So this particular experience that I had, it actually surprised me that the owner of the store, who was her cousin, would introduce her cousin to me because I never had a scenario. I'm from the United States. So I never had a scenario where one Chinese lady would introduce another Chinese lady to me. That's never happened in the United States. And I know that's something that almost never happens in the UK, where you're from, IP. So this was a scenario that actually took me by surprise. I'm not going to lie. But what I did was I was like, okay, this has to be a joke. That's why I said, let's take a selfie, because I wanted to see how serious they were. And the way I got her number was that since we took the selfie, I had a reason to get her number. So I put my phone in her hand, which is typical Black American game. You like a girl? Put your phone in her hand, let her type her digits and her name. And that's exactly what she did, And I told her, I will be back in Singapore in the future and we'll go out for lunch. And she agreed to that.
Wow. Amazing. Whoa. So, Bobby, you got you a Chinese Singaporean chicken on the rota?
Yep. And the thing about it was that it surprised me because I think part of it too is the fact that since Singapore is so close to Australia, you do have a lot of Black men from Africa that are living there. You do have a lot of Black Australians that are living there. Singapore does have a hip hop scene that's growing. And so I think that's why there's more love for brothers, not just from the Filipinas, not just from the Malay women, but that love for brothers is growing with the Chinese population.
Wow. Incredible. When you say hip hop is growing in Singapore, right? Is it Black men rapping or is it Singaporean people rapping?
It is a mixture of both Black people and Singaporean people rapping. Because the hip hop scene was big in Kuala Lumpur first, in Malaysia, which was Nigerian men, and then Malaysian men getting involved too. And so because of the hip hop scene that's growing in Kuala Lumpur, that's why it's starting to grow in Singapore.
Awesome. Brother, tell me about Malay women, right?
Yes.
These peanut butter brown skin chicks. Tell me more about that. Break it down. Are they checking for brothers?
They are most definitely checking for brothers. And if you're into, they have the curves of a Black woman. That's why I love about Malay women. They have the curves of a Black woman. So if you're with a Malay woman, her body will remind you of that of a Black woman or a Latina woman.
Lord. So, brother, when you were there in Singapore, you saw Malay women with Black men.
Well, the thing is, my ex-girlfriend was Malay. And on top of that, I've heard of several instances of Malay women dating black men. And there's two main malls that I recommend if you want to do some day game and code approaching. You could go after the Malay Singaporean ladies at the Paragon Shopping Center and the City Square Mall. Those are the two best places during the day to go after Malay Singaporean women.
Wow. Okay. Whoa. This is great intel. Okay. How do I spell that more, please? P1?
Okay. So I can type it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you very much. But
So-
go on, bro.
So these first two places I'm typing, this is for Malay Singaporean women. And then the next two places that I'm going to type is where I met the Malaysian Chinese woman, and then one other place you could get Chinese Singaporean women.
Wow. Brothers, you're getting a free game over here, brothers, man. Don't forget what IP, don't forget what we've done for you, brothers, man. Don't forget what IP's done for y'all. Don't forget what the guests have done for y'all on this channel, right? So much game. I'm gonna post it in the chat for the brothers and in the public chat, because IP loves giving intel out to brothers and helping out black men. Don't forget that. Don't you ever forget that, brothers. So, now, okay, so, brother, okay, so now we have the Indian Singaporean chicks, and I know that there's hella Indian chicks there, brother, in Singapore. And now I'm not into Indian women, right? But some brothers are, so I'm gonna ask a question for them, right?
Yes.
Are they checking for brothers, Indian Singaporean chicks?
To my own surprise, yes.
What do you mean, brother? What do you mean?
Okay, so and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Let me tell you the reason why. Because before I took this second trip to Singapore, which was December of 2024, I was watching a documentary about dating in Singapore. And there was this African guy with this Singaporean Indian woman. There was like two couples on that documentary about dating. African guy with the Indian Singaporean woman. And then I saw one other video about the club scene in Singapore, and I was seeing African, like one or two African guys with two Singaporean Indian women. Because part of it is that they look at themselves as Singaporean first, and then whatever their culture is second. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of the problems we would have with Chinese and Indian women in China or in India or in the United States or UK, you're not going to have in Singapore.
Wow, incredible. Okay.
And I do have intel as far as where you can meet these young Indian Singaporean ladies. So for day game, you can meet them at Tekka Place as well as Mustafa Center. And both of those places are located in the Little India section of Singapore.
How'd you spell that for the brothers who are interested in Indian chicks?
I'm spelling that in the chat right now. So Tekka Place is Tekka, and then Mustafa Center, Mustafa. And they're both located in the Little India section of Singapore.
But when you were there this time in Singapore, right? You tell me you saw Indian women with black men.
Yep. That's right.
Were they dark skin or light skin, these black men?
So both what I saw with my own two eyes in Singapore, as well as in the dating documentary that I watched, they were dark-skinned African men. Michael Jordan complexion.
Okay, this is great intel so far, brother, right? There's also another part of Singapore that not many people know that I'm about to drop game for brothers, right? There's a lot of mixed race women there, half Chinese, half white, half Indian, half Chinese. Did you see that over there, brother? Did you know
those are the most attractive women. Those are the most attractive women, the mixed race women.
Okay.
And there's a lot of women that are Cantonese, so they're mixed race, white and Chinese, and they immigrated to Singapore from Hong Kong. And you can get them there too.
Okay. So, brother, I'm going to ask you a question, right? A very important question, probably the most important question in the history of mankind, brother, right?
Woo!
Are these mixed race Singaporean chicks checking for black men?
They want the chocolate, they want the caramel, they want the peanut butter. Yes, they do.
What you mean? Break it down. What?
Yeah.
Break it down.
So the thing about it is, you just gotta be GQ. You gotta be confident. And the thing about it is that the average Singaporean man doesn't cold approach unless he's in a club. So one of the things that gives us the advantage in Singapore is that it doesn't matter if we're in a club, if we're in a mall, if we're walking down the street. If we have an opportunity, we're going to code approach. And just the fact that we're not afraid to code approach in a big city like Singapore, that makes us stand out.
Ooh, okay.
Because there's a huge dilemma of single women, no matter their ethnicity in Singapore, who want to be in a relationship. But the reason why they're not in a relationship is because the average Singaporean guy is too afraid to code approach because he's afraid that he won't make enough money to take care of the girl.
Oh,
so it's similar to Japan, in which the guys are so busy working instead of at least stopping to smell the roses, so to speak. Let's put it like that.
So, brother, let me ask this right. So, did you see mixed race Singaporean women with black men?
The first couple that I told you, the black guy with the Chinese woman, she looked like she was mixed race. She was white with Chinese.
Okay.
And she was curvy too.
Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I want to know, right, in regards to a black woman, African woman there, is that quite a few in Singapore?
So the thing is, there is a growing African population in Singapore, and this is one of the reasons why Singaporean women love black men. I did see, when I took my first trip to Singapore, summer of 2023, an African guy with an African woman. And there's one restaurant that's very popular for West African cuisine. It's owned by a guy that used to play for the Singaporean soccer team in the World Cup. And he's from Ghana. His wife is Ghanaian too.
Awesome. So, brother, black men dating in Singapore, right, are pulling good-looking women.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Wonderful.
I haven't seen a black guy with an ugly girl in Singapore yet.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord, man. Wonderful.
Amen.
Wonderful. So, brother, let me ask this, right? So, out of all the groups of women I've asked you about, right, from top to bottom, who loves brothers the most? Is it number one, is a Malay woman that loves brothers the most? And number two, is it Chinese Singaporean chicks? I want to know the ranking, brother. So,
okay. So I would say number one, Filipinos. Number two, Malays. Number three, Singaporean Chinese. Number four, Singaporean Indian. And then number five, Indonesian women. Because you have a growing Indonesian population in Singapore as well. A lot of them come to Singapore as OVW workers. And there is a major mall that you can go to where you can meet single Indonesian women, especially on a Saturday or Sunday during the day. It's the Tanglin Shopping Center.
Amazing. Amazing
And I'm
intel.
typing it in the chat as we speak.
Brothers, right? Don't forget what we're doing for you, brothers, man. For 10 years, man. Don't forget. Doesn't matter what anyone is saying about us, about the brother, about the movement, the hailers, whatever. Don't forget what we've done for you, brothers, for the past 10 years, man. Pure game after game. Vancouver, Singapore, Japan, Brazil, Colombia, right? Philippine Islands and France, bro. Don't forget that, cuz, right? Incredible stream so far. Singapore is officially on the list, man. They're checking for brothers. Wonderful. Shout out to Mr. Activo for the support. What currency is that, brother? Is that Norwegian? Another classic suit. So we got brothers in Norway watching us right now, brothers, man. Brothers in Norway. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Women for the support. A long-time supporter. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to you, bro. He says here, will brothers be successful in Chinatown Point in Singapore with Chinese women?
Yes. Just be confident and dress to the nines. You know?
Chinatown. Go on, bro.
Yeah. If you're going to the club, have a nice suit with like a nice shirt that's open at the top and shoot your shot. If it's during the day, wear a nice polo shirt with some dress shorts and you're good to go.
Wow. Incredible. So, brother, so now for me, right, I want to know about how good looking Singaporean women are, brother, right?
Yes.
Are they good looking across all races, brother?
They are beautiful. This is why I like going to Singapore as often as possible, because they are some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in all my life. And I'm not even talking about the women that work in the clubs. I'm talking about the average woman that you see work at a hotel, or the average woman that you see work in a restaurant, or the average woman that you see, like the one I met that was working in a clothing store. Like the average Singaporean woman is gorgeous. At least a 7, if not an 8. It's hard to find women in Singapore that are ugly because of the mix that's going on.
Lord have mercy. This is incredible. Yo, they're that good looking, bro?
They're that good looking.
Brother, I can back you up here because, right, I've actually met a Singaporean chick. I think she was Chinese Singaporean.
Yep.
She had a dime face and she was packing, bro. She was definitely a gym chick, right? So her thighs were on point. I want to keep it PG. I keep it PGIP, right? But I'm just saying, like,
we can crash out a little bit more later tonight.
But I'm like, how is she built like that? She's Chinese Singaporean. Now, could I shot my shot? I wanted to, but she was Chinese, and you know, I just feel like, you know, Chinese chicks, they're not really checking for brothers, so I kind of like didn't really shoot my shot. But you know, but they are dimes, bro. I don't know what they're eating out there in Singapore, but they're a different breed, man. And we want them to love brothers, man. In fact,
Yeah.
I want to see more black men with Singaporean chicks, man. Give the black man a chance, man. We you know, within the possible space, within our space, right? The possible space, we got brothers who are tech bros, brothers who are crypto bros, IT bros, brothers who are clean cut, right? Brothers who are in the gym, who dress well. Give brothers a chance, woman. Give brothers a chance, especially you Chinese chicks, man. I'll be real with you. I'll say, brother, hold on, bro. I'll be real, right? A lot of Chinese women are good looking, whether she's Chinese Malaysian, whether she's Chinese Singaporean, whether she's Chinese whatever, right? But they don't rock with brothers, man.
Yeah.
For the most part, and I don't know why. Because guess what? Japanese chicks, yeah, they check for brothers, but I feel like, you know, when it comes to pure aesthetics, I think Chinese chicks, right? I think they they top Chinese, they top Japanese chicks, and Japanese chicks, I think they're kind of falling off a bit, and I'll explain why in future streams. But guess what? Out of all East Asian chicks, Japanese women, they like black men the most. But if I'm being real here, as to who's better personality wise, who's better, wifey type wise, Chinese chicks are better than Japanese chicks. I'm keeping it a buck.
I agree with you, IP.
Break it down for us, DM.
Yeah.
Why do you agree?
So I just remembered the story of a black guy, and he was like a hot chocolate, like dark caramel complexion, and he was a bald guy. He immigrated to Singapore from Canada, and he's a comedian, and he was dating dimes. Chinese Singaporean girls, Malay Singaporean girls, Indian Singaporean girls. Like, I just remembered him, and so I wanted to let you know that it is easier to get a Chinese girl in Singapore than it is in China or in the UK or the United States. And he was saying that in the dating documentary.
Wow, amazing. So, brother, right? Everything's sounding good so far. It's sounding like Singapore could become a potential possible hotspot. Now, I want to know about the personality of the average Singaporean chicks, brother. Are these women sweet? Are they sweethearts? Are they feminists, brother? Tell me about, are they fit, feminine, cooperative? Break it down for me, brother.
So the thing about it is that Singapore has a lot of focus on beauty and aesthetics for the women. So a lot of these women, and also you'll see gyms everywhere in Singapore. So even though Singapore is known for its cuisine, it's also known to be a walking city. It's not uncommon to see women on bikes, and a lot of women is part of the social culture to go to the gym. So you will have, and also too, there is an Asian bachata congress that is in different Asian cities every year. And 2023, they had a bachata congress in Singapore. So Latin dancing is starting to gain traction too. So you will see, so women in Singapore for the most part are fit, feminine, and cooperative. Now, the only downside to Singapore is the fact that it's one of the most expensive places in the world. And the reason why a lot of women will date guys but won't necessarily have a family is because the price of living, the cost of living in Singapore is so expensive that it kind of defeats the purpose of getting married and having kids. So my recommendation is, if you're going to get a Singaporean woman, you got to already have another country lined up in which you can take her with you. Of course, not the UK. Of course, not the United States, but have another country lined up in which the two of you can live together if it goes beyond the boyfriend-girlfriend experience. That's the only thing. That's the only situation. Now, because Singapore is or was a colony of the UK, there is an influence of feminism in Singapore, but it's not to the point yet where it's destroying the femininity of Singaporean women, because a lot of these women stay true to their culture, whether it's Chinese or Indonesian or Indian or Malay. And so it would be more important for them to be a woman according to the way their culture teaches them, rather than trying to be like a woman in the West. So the furthest
Wow.
that feminism goes is that they just want equal job opportunities. It's not up to the point where a woman wants to try to take the headship in the relationship or anything like that. It's not like that. Far from it.
Awesome. Awesome. This is great intel so far, Singapore. Wow. Okay. I just heard about the Iran strike. We're gonna crash out and kick about that because I'm upset right now. I got a lot to say, but we'll speak about that on kick in half an hour's time. Okay. So, okay, brother. So tell me the dating culture in Singapore. What's it like, brother? Especially it being expensive. Do we pay for dates or is it 50-50? What's the culture like there, brother? Dating culture.
So the thing about it is that usually in the very beginning of a relationship, it's either 50-50. It usually starts as 50-50. And then if the guy really likes the girl, then he would usually pay for the date, but she would leave the tip. There's also a lot of singles matching events that are going on in Singapore because of the fact that they want people to come out of their comfort zone to date. And there's a lot of at least in the younger generation and the millennial generation, there's a lot of encouragement to not be afraid to date outside your ethnicity. So if you're Chinese, don't be afraid to date an Indian person. If you're Malay, don't be afraid to date a Chinese person. And don't be afraid to date a foreigner either. So I think that because of a lot of these singles events and mixers that are going on, that's one of the reasons why Singaporean women are so open-minded as far as who they date in general.
Wow. Awesome. Shout out to Insight for the support. Singaporean Chinese are baddies. But that's a fact that Singaporean Chinese women are baddies, man.
I got a theory about why they're baddies. Because just because a woman identifies as Singaporean Chinese, it doesn't mean that she's 100% Chinese. Or just because a woman identifies as Malay, it doesn't mean she's 100% Malay. So a lot of Chinese women in Singapore, they have at least one ancestor that's Indian or one ancestor that's Malay. A lot of Malay women, they have at least one ancestor that's Indian, one ancestor that's Chinese. A lot of women that are Singaporean Indian, they had at least one ancestor that was British. So even if they identify as Chinese or Malay or Indian, because of the history in Singapore, there was a lot of racial mixing that was going on. So they have the best of all the worlds, no matter which direction you go to in the dating pool.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Whoa. Singapore. Okay, let's open up the phone lines. Okay, brother. Let's get some callers in. Brothers, if you want to call in and speak about your time in Singapore, have any questions for our guests, call in. I'm going to put the link in the chat. So there you go, call in. Okay, there you go. And come and speak about your time in Singapore. Any questions to our guests? There you go. Okay, incredible stream so far. DM again with another classic, back-to-back classics. Incredible, bro. Incredible. So I want to ask this DM, right?
Yes.
Who do you personally prefer out of all the racial groups of women there in Singapore?
I would say it's a tie between the Filipinos as well as the Malays because their bodies are the closest to Black women as far as how shapely they are, and their hair is the closest to Latinas, in which they have that perfect curl in their hair. Now, with that being said, you got some Singaporean Chinese women that have those nice thick, like hourglass figures, and have that wave or curl to their hair too. So it's a tie between Filipinas and Malays for me. And then Singaporean Chinese is a close second. And not all of the Singaporean Chinese women are like pale skin. A lot of them have those light peanut butter complexions.
Wow. Oh, Lord.
And that's part of the mix that's been going on over the years.
Let me share my screen, right? This is an example of a Singaporean Chinese chick, right? And I'm telling you, I kid you not, these women are dimes, right? It's a shame that Chinese women, like the majority of them, don't like brothers. I don't know what's happening there, but we gotta fix that because again, I think we as black men, right, need an alternative to Japanese chicks, right? The more we have amongst Asian women, the better, right? Because there's over 500 million Chinese women, bro, and we must tap into that market. There's also Chinese Indonesian, Chinese Malaysian, right? But the love that we get from a Japanese chick, right, is so much that, you know, Chinese women don't give us that love. What's happening there? So look at this chick, right, who's Chinese Singaporean. Brother, out of 10, what do you rate her, bro? Keep it a stack.
I have to prevent myself from drooling.
Damn.
But I would say I can tell she's in her 30s. So I would give her I'll give her like an 8.9.
Yeah.
8.9. Yep.
I'll give her a 7.5, you know. Like, and that's not even a young Singaporean chick. The one I met a couple years ago was a young chick, 22, in the gym, slim, thick, long hair, looked like her but younger. I was like, Lord, bruv, okay. What's happening, man? Maybe I should have, you know, shoot my shot. But when she told me that she was Chinese Singaporean, I got a bit like, okay, I don't know, because she's Chinese. Would she really like me as a brother, as a dark skinned brother? I'm keeping it back, man. You know,
Right.
for me personally, brothers, I go for women that like me. I don't waste time. Go for women that like you. So it is a proven fact that out of all the East Asian chicks, out of all Asian women, right, Filipinas, number one, are the ones that show black men a lot of love, right? And the
Amen.
the least Asian woman, and the women who are Asian that show brothers the least love, right, have been without a doubt Chinese chicks. So why would I spend my time going after Chinese women, right, when I can go after Filipino women, where it's on record that these women just love brothers? Always, in my opinion, go for women that like you, right? Go for groups of women that like you. Okay, so I need to see more evidence, right? I gotta see more videos, blah blah blah, of Chinese women, good looking Chinese chicks, right? Literally going out their way for a black dude. I've seen that happen. I've seen a Japanese chick do that. I've seen a Filipino chick do that, right? I'm keeping it a buck. You go for women that like you. So that's why, oh, IP, you scared IP, oh, IP, why didn't you approach IP? Oh, you scared IP, you scary IP. No, bro, it ain't about being scary, bruv. It's about time management. It's about valuing your time and your energy. I won't waste time on a chick that doesn't like me or a group of women. I go for who likes me. In that right, DM?
Exactly. You have to go for the highest probability. So if you know that women that are Malay love black men, that's what you go for. If you know that Japanese women love black men, that's what you go for. If you know that Filipinas love black men, that's what you go for. You have to play the law of averages. If you go for women that have a higher probability of being successful with black men, you're going to be successful with that woman.
Facts.
There's a reason why when that Chinese girl was introducing her cousin to me that I got surprised, because from our neck of the woods, that's not something that usually happens.
Facts, bro. Oh, IP, you scared, IP, you scared, bro. You scared, IP. Man, get out of here, bro, man. I listen, I value my time, bro. Right. So let me try and find a young Singaporean Chinese Singaporean, because I'm telling you, like, these women are hot, right? I'm trying to find one that actually looked like the woman that I saw a couple years ago, slim, thick.
I like the one that you put on in the first video that we did on Singapore together with the long hair. She was a dime.
Okay, interesting. Well, let me see if I can find her. Because let me see. I knew someone that's quite popular. Chinese Singaporean.
I had the biggest crush on Lucy Liu growing up, and she's from Singapore.
Lord. There's one actress, right, that is Singaporean, right? Or maybe Malaysia, I don't know, but she's a dime. Let me see.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I forgot her name.
Chinese Malaysian actress.
Yes.
It's all the same thing. I know they're different. Malaysian, Chinese, Malaysian, Singapore, but at the end of the day, they're Chinese.
Right.
It's all the same thing.
Same culture.
Young. Oh, let me try to find her.
I think if it's the actress that I'm thinking about, she was in the Crazy Rich Asians movie.
She was like some martial arts, maybe martial arts. Was she Indonesian? Indonesian Chinese martial arts, Indonesian movie.
The girl I'm thinking about was Malaysian Chinese.
Okay, I think I found it actually. Here it is. I don't think she's Chinese, but I don't know. I think she's mixed race, right? So
yeah.
Look at this chick, right? I'm telling you, bro. Like, we as black men need to get into this market, right, of these exotic Asian women. Now, Japanese women, I feel like, yeah, they're cool, right? But I think there's more better women than Japanese chicks for black men when it comes to Asian chicks. We need to expand our market, because these Japanese chicks, man, they ain't gonna save you, bruv. They ain't gonna save you, man. Right? No woman's gonna save you. All right, so let me try and get one up. Yeah, this chick she's flames. Let me put her up. Lord have mercy. She's half Asian, half East Asian, I think. Oh my goodness, man. Let me bring her up, bro. Like, her, I want to see her with a black man, right? Is that possible? I don't know. Let me share my screen. Present. Share screen, right? So look at this chick over here, bro.
All right.
Look at this, bro.
Oh my gosh. She looks like a Latina too.
Brother, that's an Asian chick, half Asian something. You can see the eyes. Oh my days, bro.
That woman's a 9.6.
Oh my days. I want to see a woman like this with a black man.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Lord have mercy. Damn.
Oh, perfectly shaped. Not too skinny, not too big, curves in the right spot, perfect body.
Brothers in the chat, right? What are you rating her out of 10? And actually, I'll get another picture, right, real quick.
All right.
What are you rating her, brothers? Right? Because those kind of women, that's where you're gonna find in Singapore. Because she looked like that, the girl that I actually met, right? So I'm gonna get a better facial shot, right? I'm gonna try and get her body too as well, so you can see that she's packing, bro. Like, and I know a lot of brothers, you love your thick chicks, right? That's cool. Let me try and get. So this is a better facial shot of her, right? Present, share screen, right? This is over here, right? So here's a better facial shot of that chick. Look at that, bruv.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We gotta believe in ourselves. We gotta believe. We gotta believe in ourselves. That's an A+ for a woman. Like what we have to do as passport bros and as black men, we have to strive for an A+. If we strive for an A+, we're gonna either get the A+ or we're gonna come close. That's the standard. She's the standard right there, no doubt about it.
Facts. Who is that? The last emperor? I don't know what you're on about, bro. But nah. That's just not. No, she doesn't, man. Come on, no. Look at this, bruv. Yo. Whew. My goodness, bruv. Let me get another Asian chick, right? That is of that Singaporean ilk. Because you know what, brothers, like IP reading, IP grinding, right? You know, IP. He's been on, like I've been on my purpose, man, and you know what? I've been thinking about chicks. You know, researching women, yada 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 yada, and let me get another one real quick, bruv. I want to see a black man with these kind of women, man. Like, is that possible, DM?
I think it's possible. We just gotta believe in ourselves, and we gotta come with our A+ game when it comes to the art of macking. Half the battle is just showing up. We just gotta get our passports, show up in Singapore. You show up in Singapore, you see a girl that you like, mack her. The worst thing that can happen is that she says no, and you walk away.
Facts. Brother, so what's your thoughts on this chick over here? I'm gonna share my screen, right? Let me get a nice picture of her. Right. Let me see. That's not her. Let me see. Singaporean. Was it this one? Okay, 21. No, that's not her. Oh shoot, where's that chick? Young Singaporean, young Chinese Singaporean actresses. Or was she Malaysian? Actresses. Okay, let's see. Okay, I found one. All right. So this chick over here, right? Let me see. Can brothers get this? Let me see. Lord have mercy. Let me try and pull up real quick. That was her, yeah. All right, so Chinese Singaporean actress, right? Can brothers get this? Oh, she's half Thai as well. Okay, that's great. She's half Thai. So this is a half Thai, half Chinese Singaporean chick. What we rating her, brothers? All right, let me get a picture real quick. Let's see. Come on, Google, man. Yeah, Google's falling off, bruv. Oh my days. What's up with Google nowadays, man? Fix your effing search engine, morphos. Blood. Nah, that's too small, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get a picture. Hold on. I'm trying to get a picture. Hold on.
Take your time.
Is that Google is giving me like small pictures, and I ain't asked for that. You know, why didn't that morpho up? Let's see. Okay, is this okay? Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is a decent one. So half Thai, half Chinese Singaporean. Present, share screen, right? Well, what's your thoughts on this, bro? Yeah.
9.9.
Lord. Half Thai, half Chinese Singaporean.
9.9. All the way. If she was in a Miss Universe pageant, she would win it just like that.
Lord have mercy.
That's the goal. for black men who are passport bros. That's the standard.
Can we get that? Can okay, maybe a light skinned Chris Brown brother can pull that, right? But can a dark skinned brother pull that, brother? Let's keep it a buck.
I feel yes, they can. Even if she was maybe, what I did notice is that a lot of the girls that darker skinned guys were pulling were like 10 pounds over the medium line. So, like, not fat, but like a little bit thicker, right? Whereas a light skinned brother would get that girl with the perfect body, like a Chris Brown.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Facts. You know, let's keep it a buck. But we gave it a 9.9. So
9.9. That's a Miss Universe right there, all the way.
So, but that's 0.0 away from it, 0.1 away from the 10. Why should she missing that 0.0 away from the 10?
I think probably because of the pose that she made. Like, I think if she was just smiling regularly, it would be a 10.
Okay. So, brothers, followers are open, right? Let me try and find a slim, thick Chinese Singaporean. The one that I actually saw in person. Because
let's do it.
She amazed me, man. I could tell she was kind of covering her body. She was actually wearing like baggy clothes.
Right.
I was like, baby girl, I know you're packing. show that. I want to see all that junk in your trunk, baby girl. I keep it PG, bro.
Show it off. Show it off.
Slim, thick Chinese woman. Let me see. I'm trying to find the exact figure, bro. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. Let me see. And the thing is, and her shape, right? It wasn't like, you know, like Asian women have a very like interesting shape. They haven't got big hips. It's like they have very small hips, right? But her hips were big, bro.
Woof.
Like a white chick.
Nice.
I'm trying to find something like that similar. There won't be a lot. I think she was like unique in that aspect. Genetics kind of like saved her.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I found it. Yeah, let me see. I can find. This is perfect. Oh my days, this is perfect. Yeah, exactly like this. Let me try and get a pic. Show me the new tab. It's too small. Nah, Google is actually paying with me right now. Why is it so small, bruv? Oh my days. Hold on, let me try and find a decent pic here. Blood. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's see. Hold on. Famous birthdays. That's not it, bruv. Wait. Yeah. Okay, I found it. Let's see. That is her. Okay, so let me try and find a pic of this chick. Yeah, this is the exact figure, but she was a bit more chunkier, but she was still fit. So I think I found it. Let me try and get a bigger picture. Okay, let's see. This is the one. It's gonna be quite small, but this is kind of it, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. It's gonna be a bit tiny, right? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, Bobby, you're typing in clubs in the chat?
Top 10 clubs in Singapore. Top 10 clubs and bars in Singapore. Where you could get these dimes.
Lord, legendary. Thank you, bro. Let me share my screen. Share screen. So it was this figure over here, right? I know it's quite small, but it was that kind of figure she had. You see, but her hips were wider, her thighs were thicker, right? Look at that body, bro.
She looks like a dancer.
The average Asian chick, right, doesn't have a body like that.
True.
She don't. The hips are a lot more narrower for an Asian chick. But for the one I met a couple years ago, Singaporean Chinese, hips were wider, thighs were thicker, long black hair. I'm thinking, should I shot my shot? I think I should have, man. Maybe she was checking for brothers. I don't know, right? But when I heard she was Chinese, I'm like, okay, nah, there's no point. Damn.
Small picture, but I can tell the girl's fine.
Exactly
Okay.
that figure, bro.
And I see her on my monitor too. Yeah, the girl's fine. The girl's fine. Another Miss Universe right there. Another Miss Universe.
Lord have mercy, man. Can a brother get that kind of Asian chick with that body?
Of course he can. Of course he can.
You sure, bro? Especially if she's Chinese. I don't know, bro. It's
okay. So if she goes to those Latin dance studios and you join one of those Latin dance events that she's at, you can bag her. So she has to be one of those Chinese women that doesn't just hang with other Chinese people. She hangs with people of different ethnicities. So that's one of the things I almost forgot to say that. That's one of the things that you got to make sure of. If you are going to get a Singaporean Chinese woman, your best bet is make sure she has friends of different ethnicities and not just Chinese friends.
Facts. Absolute facts, man. So amazing stream so far. All right, brothers, right? So we're now taking it over to Kick to crash out. Okay, crash out session in effect on Kick. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to go on to Kick right now. Here's a Kick link in the chat. Okay, we're going to crash out on Kick. Okay, about dating, Chinese woman, the Iran war. We're going to crash out. Okay, so Kick, crash out up next. DM, get some water, and let me know when you're back. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Kick crash out up next. The Kick link is in the live stream chat. Create your Kick account. Follow me on Kick. We're going to be crashing out on Kick in a few more minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Go on the Kick right now. Here's a Kick link. Okay. Hop on Kick in the live stream chat, and I'll see y'all soon, man. Kick link. Kick link. Kick link. That's funny, bruv. I got a lot to say, man, about Singapore, about Chinese chicks, about the Iran war, right? I just heard that Trump, right, the Iran got bombed by Trump. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it, bro. Is it World War III, right? Would that mean that we can't get our Chinese Singaporean chick? All right, cool. Facts. IP back, man. IP back on form, bro. All right. We got another stream tomorrow and another stream on Monday. And that Monday stream, don't miss it. Because it's a city where brothers love that city, man. And we're going to get live updates as to the dating scene in that city, right? On that city. Don't miss that stream, bro. You're going to love it. So I want everyone on Kick right now, okay? Get on to Kick. Move on Kick, okay? Here's the Kick stream link over here in the chat, right? Everyone go on to Kick. We're now moving on to Kick, okay? And we're going to crash out on there, all right? If you're on Kick, let me know, bro. Kick gang in the building. Kick gang, Kick gang, Kick gang. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so brothers, 2 more minutes. Everyone on Kick. We are now moving over to Kick. I'm going to end the stream on Facebook, Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube. And we'll only be streaming on Kick today, okay? Where we crash out like a mofo, man. All right? Hop on Kick. Let's get it. We got over 60 people watching. Super chat. Okay, I've got a super chat. Let me see. Shout out to I got super chat. Sorry, brothers, I missed that. Sorry. Shout out to Aaron of Ishval for the support. Let's call a spade a spade. Most of us avoid Chinese women because we anticipate the racism, lack of attraction. But brothers had an equal pick of Asians. We predominantly date Chinese. Brother, that's facts. And DM, if you're there, you can chime in as well. But that's facts, bro. That's facts because once again, right, like I mentioned earlier, right, I only go for women that like me. I don't waste time anymore, right? So that's why this channel is the best channel on YouTube for passport bros. There are countries where we have more good intel than bad intel. Okay, that means the women there love brothers. So we want to spend our time in those countries or with those women. Where with China, not so good in most cases, right? So therefore, if I see an Asian chick, right, she tells me she's Chinese, I'm not gonna speak to her. It's over. Because I know what to expect. Yeah, and if Chinese chicks were checking for us, absolutely. Personally, right? From what I've seen in 2025, from what I know, I was in Japan last year, right? If Chinese women were checking for brothers and Japanese chicks too, I'm going to pick Chinese chick. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But I will pick a Chinese woman, brother, because I feel like they're more traditional than Japanese women. Like I mentioned,
That's
right?
true.
Like I mentioned, right, brothers, right? Hold on, bro. Japan got 10 years. 10 years, in my opinion, Japan is over with. 10, I give it 10 years. I give it minimum 5 years. Minimum 8 years, maximum 10 years. Because there are some things in Japan, right, that you won't like to see. It's still a great destination for passport bros, right? But it's changing. And it's changing for the worse. All right. So I'll give Japan 10 years, right? If it doesn't get its act together. Because Japan is so like Japan, right, has no backbone. And I'll be real with you. They allow America to control them. If America says, "Hey, Japan, we don't like how you do something like this," Japan is like, "Hi, we'll change it." I was there. Like they want to be American too much. They allow Western influence to like dictate their norms now because they want to like be progressive now. They want to change it. They want to be more open. But that's not a good thing in most cases, right? They like to please people too much, Japanese people, including America and the West. China doesn't do that, bro. China plays by its own rules. That's why, for the most part, Chinese women, they're in check. So yes, I would pick a Chinese woman over a Japanese chick, right? However, as of 2025, Chinese women do not like black men like that, from my personal experience. What's your thoughts here, DM?
No, so the thing about it is that I agree with you 110% that if I grew up seeing more black men with Chinese women, and I'm talking about from high school, I would have gone to China a long time ago. I would have gone to Taiwan and actually spent some time there a long time ago. I would have gone to Hong Kong a long time ago. I'm going to places in Southeast Asia because I know black men have more success in Southeast Asia than in China.
Facts, absolute facts, bro. So Filipinos love us, so therefore, brothers, give that love back. Shout out to another super chat, and after this one, we're going to move over to Kick, right? So brothers, going to Kick. We're going to crash out there in a few more minutes after we do a super chat. Shout out to Mr. Zeno for the support. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to IP and to the bro. Shout out to you, Zeno, for the support. Appreciate you, brother. But he's mistaken. American ethnism, AF, is changing all cultures. I definitely agree, bro. Malaysia is no different. Asian countries are not standing up to it. I'm seeing AF in China. Zeno, are you currently in Asia right now, brother? Brother DM, do you agree with that statement there, bro?
I would say that feminism is a little bit stronger in Singapore than it is in Malaysia, but Malaysia tends to copy whatever it is that Singapore does. So it's not at that dangerous level yet, but it is there.
Wow. Like, I think eventually the whole world will go crazy unless someone stands up to America. We've just seen America drop bombs on Israel. Sorry, on Iran. Okay, unless people stand up to America, right? The feminism is going to grow. The West Coast is going to grow because America is at the top of the food chain.
Yep.
And if you watched my stream 2 weeks ago, right, I mentioned that until politicians of other countries block out American media and American customs, they too will get their woman poisoned. It may be a slower process, but it's coming. It may take 50 years, it may take 4 years, but America plays a long game. I'm telling you, they play the long game, right? Right? And they're clearly pushing out American feminism to these countries, even though it's slow there. I saw it a bit in Japan, right? I did. Okay. That's why I give Japan 10 years, 15 years until it's over in that country, unless like people stand up and say, hey, enough is enough. China, as long as they block out American media, they're good. Right? So let's go over to Kick. Because how about we talk about it more on Kick, right? So everyone jump on Kick right now. We're going to end the streams, right? Jump on Kick. You had enough time. If you're on YouTube, we're now moving on Kick, okay? So everyone, we're moving on Kick literally right now, okay? Here's the Kick links in the live stream chat on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, move over to Kick right now, okay? So let me end the stream on Facebook first, okay? If you're on Facebook, Facebook people, my Facebook brothers, my Facebook bros, right? Follow me on Kick. We're now on Kick, okay? So Facebook stream has ended. Rumble Gang. If you're on Rumble, we're now on Kick. So Rumble Gang, I will see you on Kick. Okay, thank you, Rumble Gang. We are on Rumble tomorrow. Shout out to Rumble Gang. I love you, brothers. Twitch Gang, love you too, brothers. So Twitch, if you're on Twitch, we are now moving over to Kick. So thank you, Twitch. Appreciate the support, Twitch Gang. Now, YouTube Gang, okay, the last in the puzzle. If you're on YouTube, get yourselves over to Kick right now, okay? I'm going to crash out on there with DM on Kick. We're going to have a ball. We're going to have a blast, okay? So we still got over 40 people on YouTube. What are you doing, bro? Get yourselves over to Kick right now. Okay, we're gonna crash out on numerous topics. All right, move to Kick. I see Ozzy on Kick. I see Chuck's on Kick. YouTube people, get onto Kick right now. Move. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are now ending the YouTube stream. Okay, we are now only on